Hello, everyone. Good morning. I'm Fabio Malfatti, the Italian project manager of the Highland Community Manager project. This is the third key lesson. Key lessons are the central point of our educational program. And I will welcome everybody and say that we are now not in the normal place, but we are guests of Unione Montana Feltrina, and it's a mountain region in the province of Belluno in Italy. And we have, with the support of the mayor, Federico Dalla Torre, that's the mayor of Sovramonte, and we are now in this moment in the little community of Sovramonte, a very interesting and well-organized community that will be one of our key studies. This area will be one of the key studies of the project. So it's really important to be here because the first thing is to be present, to know the places where we are working with. So this area, it's rich on tradition, landscapes, but they have still an interesting community spirits. So it's the perfect place where we can go on experimenting and applying all the ideas that are grown during these webinars. No, you notice that these are not frontal lesson, but a discussion between experts. So now today, the topics, it's digital tools and remote collaboration. Who has followed all the webinars of this month knows that we afford the topics from a lot of different point of view, from the AI point of view, so how AI and digital data are important to help support the internal area in development, how the temporary workers and the temporary residents and the remote workers can be a resource for these remote areas where we are living in this moment. We have an aging population, and we have a lot of young people going to work in other places. But in these areas, we have as you can see in the picture behind me, it's the center of what will happen in the lowest area. So we cannot abandon. The abandonment is a central problem. We bring wildfire, we have problem of water, we have a lot of different problems. So we need to think in the internal and highland areas as part of the lowest territory. And two, because with the climate change that will be the September topics, these areas will become more and more interesting for living, and we have to prepare the future. So how we work today, we have two parts of this roundtable. In the first part, the speakers will present themselves and their cases, so where they are, which is their context, and the problem they have. I will drive the discussion, so don't worry. In the second part, we try to exchange between experts which are the possible helps for each areas to grow better, no, to solve the problem. So trying to exchange between the experts, the expertise. No, this is the idea. So if let me see if Anna Maria, you are ready with your ice breaking?
Yes, sure.
Yes, of course. So just I will say briefly who is here, and after we will have the icebreaker. And Anna Maria, if you can share the link to the pre-evaluation.
It's in the chat. I sent it like 2 minutes ago.
Okay, perfect. So in this way, if somebody has not still filled the re-evaluation and is student of this project, it's good that field now. Another things I have to say, this session, it's automatic translate with closed caption. So you should activate the closed caption, so subtitles in other, o sottotitoli in italiano, and choose the language that we will speak, it's in English, and choose your preferred language in the closed caption, so in the subtitle, so you can follow if you have some problem with English, for example, with my Italo Spanglish, the Italo Spanglish, Tosco Spanglish I speak. So today we have Giovanni Filippi from Associazione Italiana Nomadi Digitali, Italian Association of Digital Nomads. We have Simona Solvi from Start Working Pontremoli. That's one interesting experience of connected with Nomadi Digitali. We have Olivio Mattei, that is a professor and CEO and expert in AI. And Marcela Iglesias, that is digital nomads, remote workers since years, but psychologist, a therapist, and expert in education. So we have a very interesting group of a different point of view, and all together we will build something interesting. So the floor is yours, Anna Maria.
Okay, thank you, Fabio, and hello, everyone. Good morning. Firstly, please, I cannot share a screen, Fabio. You are muted.
Thank you. Yes, I forgot to give you the, sorry. It's here. It's here. Yes, now you have the power.
Thank you. Okay, so we have a Mentimeter here. So, as you know from previous meetings, you will need to go to menti.com and use this code, and you will be able to answer the question. So we will see. We will start a bit with with this morning with getting some ideas from your side, and then we will discuss more. Okay, we have lack of skill, knowledge, internet connection, yes. Yes, sure. I will also send the link here. Okay, we have abandonment, new inhabitants, the internet connection, we can see that it's the biggest. Lack of coordination, a few skilled people, lack of open communities, and internet connection is growing. We have also somebody that is drawing on the screen. also digital skills. I see there are okay. Settings. Lack of interest also. Limited access to digital stuff, and also infrastructure gaps. It's in the same cultural resistance. Okay, we'll wait for 1 more minute. And then we have other question. But I think it's a really good mapping of what's happening now in rural areas. For example, I can confirm for Romania, but I think also for Italy and Spain. Okay, thank you so much. We will go to the last question. And now we will have what do you hope digital technology will bring to the rural communities? Ooh, lot of ideas. Empowerment, less bureaucracy, opportunities, connectivity, knowledge-based developed, supporting knowledge sharing, unity, smart development skills, reduce discrepancies, help in solve problems. You can see that community engagement, it's bigger. Retro innovation, I didn't think I said about this one. Opportunities, diversity, inclusion. And community engagement and inclusion and unity. It's very, very big for today's webinar. Inclusion becomes bigger. Okay, we will wait for like 30 seconds and then we can go on with the next stage of this webinar. Okay. Thank you so much for your opinions. It was really nice to start the mornings with some of your opinions. And now I leave the floor to Fabio.
Yes. Okay, so this is really important because the first step of this project was understand that we have a common problem in all Europe and different problem. So we cannot generalize everything, but there are things that are common and other that are local and locally based, and we have to solve to this problem. So this is the main point of this all this path. So to understand what is common, what is local, what is localized, so how we can help and but not creating other problem, because sometimes when we generalize problem, we think we have one solution, one socks for all. It's not good because somebody will is not good. It's too little or too big. So anyway, the Mentimeter shows us the common and the difference, and it's really really interesting. The point, no, the inclusion, the community engagement, knowledge based development. So what we expect from digital technology, and that are the thematics we will speak today, and what are the barriers, so what we miss. I can say these are quite common in all the places I knew, but now our experts will just tell. So I will pass the floor for first for presentation, so take your time, it's not a problem. 7 minutes to present yourself, your context, who you are, and how you see the problem of remote collaboration problem, the point, the good point and the worst point of digital collaboration. So Giovanni Filippi is the president of Associazione Italiana Nomadi Digitali. Please present yourself, and after we go in a round of questions.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Fabio, can you confirm
Yes.
that? Okay, perfect. So my name is Giovanni Filippi. I'm the secretary, not the president of Italia Digital Nomad Association. And I will talk about our association because I'm one of the founder of it, and this is our which is our objective, our main point, and how we meet with the HiCoMa project, and why we share the mission. Why the Italian Digital Nomad Association is an organization that works in Italy, of course, and that promotes ethical digital nomads, digital nomadism, and remote work, and we want to let Italy becomes one destination for digital nomads all around the world, but not the classical digital nomads, but a new form of digital nomads. I mean, digital nomads that can that aim to go in the to live in the rural areas and help the local communities to develop, to empower. The empowerment of local communities was one of my word in the Mentimeter a few seconds ago. And so that Italy's rural and inner areas can be regenerated and to help, not to solve, but to help the problem of abandonment of these areas, because we think that we in Italy, but also in other places, I can see like Romania, Spain, but all of our Europe, I guess. We have problems of decentralization at present. Internet connection is a problem that is increasing the digital divide between areas, between cities and the local, and we call it rural areas. So we aim to solve these, to help to solve this problem. But on the other side, we think that digital nomads alone can't be the solution. We have to meet the digital nomads as temporary inhabitants and the local communities, because otherwise we have the problems of gentrification. That is a very known problems that start to develop in other areas of the world, and we don't want that digital nomadism is a new let me say, colonization movement, but we want it to be a movement that can interact, that can give something back to the communities. So we think that the project Hi.Co.Ma is very important, because we believe that the local communities first have to empower themselves and find people that can make connection with the local communities and the foreign or temporary community from outside, that is Italian in Italy, or Italian in other places, but still that we find a way to collaborate to solve problem and not to make new problem for the communities. Then we will go deeper in the conversation later. Thank you.
Thank you, Giovanni, because this is one of the reasons the Highland Community Manager project start, because these ideas and what they were directly involved in this. And I pass the floor to Simona Solvi, that's one of the founder of the Start Working Pontremoli. It's a very interesting experience of remote working, but in the good way, no, with a strong integration with the local community. So please, Simona, present yourself and tell us about your wonderful project.
Thank you, Fabio. Hello, everyone. As you said, we are one of the projects working on digital nomads and remote workers. We are trying to do all the best, but we are still in progress. So I'm Simona Solvi. I'm the president of Start Working Pontremoli Association, which is an NGO founded in Pontremoli. We are in the north part of Tuscany, in an inland area, which is called Lunigiana. And Pontremoli is the main village. We have 7,000 inhabitants, so not too small, but not too big to work with and to have all the services that all the people can have in a small village. And the project, Start Working project, was launched in 2020. After the first wave of pandemic. And the idea was to attract and welcome digital nomads and remote workers to our inland area in order to face the big problem of the population, which is a main challenge for these areas. Because let's say that in 100 years, the population of Pontremoli dropped of 60%. So it's a very big problem. And not only this, but also the fact that the entrepreneurship, the innovative side of life of these people, it's quite, let's say, it's not so active. So we are trying to connect the best of what a remote worker and digital nomad can bring to this area. So new energies, new ideas, also an entrepreneurial mindset, together with the best of what the inland area can offer. So a good quality of life, a good sense of community, and so on. So we are trying to connect these two parts, as Giovanni already said. So we are trying to connect remote worker and the local community. What can I add? of course, Associazione Italiana Nomadi Digitali, we share the same principles. So we are really trying to do a concrete initiative here in this area. From the start of the project, we have integrated 100 people, more or less, that stays in the local community for at least 1 month, or but many stay for more months. And 41 people have now chosen to become long-term residents. So they have chosen Lunigiana and Pontremoli as a place to live and work for long term. And this is we think that this is a real good impact for the local community, but we are still in the process of merge these two mindset. So the cosmopolitan mindset and the creative mindset of the newly inhabitants with the sense of community, the traditions, a slower pace of life that we can find in these inland areas. Maybe we can go further deep. Thank you.
Thank you, Simona, because this is a practical example. When we speak about nomads, we're speaking about the origin of human being. So what we are searching today is to mix the best of nomadic life and the best of residency. Because now into the history, we have changes of nomadics and static place, and in the last centuries, we have some conflict between nomads and residents, but this is something that we will overcome with this project. So I pass the plot to Olivio Mattei, because one of the thematics that we developed in the last webinars was how we can help integrate the local knowledge with the newcomer, and how to preserve the local knowledge that we are that traditionally were shared between grandfathers and nephews, and now with this fast changing and the temporal residence, this chain is broken, and we risk to lose really important knowledge. Please, Olivia.
Thank you, Fabio. Please notice that unlike almost everyone there, I'm outside in the mountains, so somehow I'm speaking exactly from our focus. Okay, as you mentioned in the beginning, I'm a professor of artificial intelligence at Technical University of Cluj, and I can tell you that I'm supervising research in smart specialization. What smart specialization is a concept we started as a initiative, as a research by European Commission about developing communities based on innovations, based on know-how, based on everything. But what we noticed is that these concepts are pretty theoretical, because speaking about rural areas, you don't have that much innovation or that much research, right? But on the other hand, what you have is the intrinsic knowledge and intrinsic economic activities which are already in those fields, right? So people in rural areas, although maybe they are not up to date with the latest technologies, but they have ancient and ancestral knowledge and know-how which can be exploited. And moreover, what we also noticed is that besides agriculture or tourism, there are many other things which can be done in rural areas. For instance, analyzing, and we have a whole concept called IGIS about that, analyzing the relief, analyzing the soil and the mineral resources. Actually, you can develop those areas pretty much. Instead of doing forestry, instead of doing agriculture, you can start exploiting the rural, the mineral resources, right? Which brings diversity in economic activities. And again, combining those, as you said, ancestral know-how inherited from father to son, and combining it with innovative ways to apply it and to use it, actually you can come up with very, very interesting aspects. Again, it's very important that if you check the mineral resources maps, for instance, right, you don't find too much, because those maps focus actually on large resources of limestone, for instance, of gold, of whatever, right? But for rural areas, even smaller ones can be very exploitful and very useful for the development of those areas. So what I say is that looking closer at what we already have, exploiting that, and what we have, I mean, soil, environmental aspects, mineral resources, and as you said, know-how and ancestral know-how combined with innovative aspects, we can bring things to a new level, in a new light. Thank you.
Thank you very much, because this is very important. You know, we are. I am an environmental anthropologist. I work on local ecological knowledge. That's my main activity, and this is the big problem. We are losing, and a lot of this local ecological knowledge are connected. From this local ecological knowledge, we can start to again to go with science out of this generalization that everything is the same, and we can understand local mechanisms that after can be another point of view, help to understand other local mechanisms. So in this we are writing another project, an Horizon project about the local knowledge, how science and local knowledge can interact and act with the local population, because sometimes we forget between administrators, scientists, and companies and all the people, we forget that there are local people that they know what they need a lot of time, but we forget to ask in the last year. So now I pass the floor to another point of view, interesting, really interesting, because Marcela Iglesias is not only a remote worker, it's not only a psychologist, a facilitator, but it's a person that in his life has worked a lot of time on help the local communities in interact between the local ecological knowledge and with education of the new generation. So Marcela, please, it's your time.
Thank you, Fabio. Hi, everyone. Yes, I'm Chilean. I live in Venezia, in Italy. I have lived 6 years in Spain, and I have lived in different countries because since I think like 10 years, I became a digital nomad at my 40. Now I'm 50. So it's an interesting experience because I wasn't like 20 or 30 years. Of course, I have this problem to connect, no, to understand how to, use the technology, because I'm this kind of generation that is really like, okay, this is not my stuff, but I really wanted to travel and to live in different places. So as a psychologist, for me, it's really important to the possibility that I can live in different places, no, and continue doing my psychotherapy. And to make the therapy online is not easy, especially with child, for example. And that is something that I understand, that not to know my ignorance help the other to don't feel in distance with me. So that's a really important question, because the first problem I see, no, is that there is this distance of privilege, the one that know how to do that, and the people that are ignorant in how to do that. So, can you help me with this? On how can I do that? It's something that creates relation of being equals. That was my first step, no? That not try to be the one that knows and the other one doesn't know. So I have worked for 15 years with indigenous people of Chile, Peru, and Bolivia. Aymara, Quechua, Atacameños, Cahuéscar. That is people that really don't know. So when they feel me, that I was in the same condition than them, it's something that helped us. So I was okay of not knowing, not be the expert. And I have be an editor of different kind of publications, of books of indigenous wisdom, ancestral wisdom, and climate change. So that was the other situation, because some of my meetings were from one who was really living in the altiplano without connection, no, and some people that were really in the middle of the forest in Amazonia, so with less connection. So the way of trying to be connect was the way of making the relation at the same time. No, it wasn't efficient, it wasn't easy and fast, but it was really like, okay, I don't know, so I can help you, and that's allow me to be in the relationship. So that was interesting. The other thing, I have worked also for 8 years in education programs of socio-emotional education. Different countries around Latin America and the Caribbean. So thousands and thousands of teachers that was really upset because frustrated because they didn't want, they were losing all the power they have because they didn't know how to use the technology, and their students were so faster than them. So, and at the same time was Google and now ChatGPT. So the teachers were losing the power. So they asked me, how can I get into my class again, being somebody that is really important for them, because I have no power anymore. No, they are so faster. I don't know all the questions. How can I do that? So it wasn't my, I didn't have the answer, but between them, they share the same problems, and it led them to feel that they weren't alone in this transition. So I think I have said enough. It's okay. Thank you for the patience, because my English is not that good.
Okay, thank you really, Marcela, because you introduced a lot of different problems and thematics that cannot be under-evaluated, because if we under-evaluated these issues, we will found in a closed road, no, where we have to go back. And going back in this situation, it's really hard. When they grow conflicts, we have a disconnection between groups. It will be really hard to reconnect when the conflict starts. Now, so we have potential conflicts. For example, the problem of teacher. It's the problem the teacher has now, no, with ChatGPT, where the students arrive and say, okay, but this is say ChatGPT and you say that. So how we can? So we need to change and build common knowledge, to know methods to build knowledge together. Another thematics is the distance. No, now we are in distance. In this moment, we are located in different places of Europe and in the world. So how we have to learn how to break this distance and stay near with digital tools, but because it's a need. It's not possible to avoid to go. So we have to learn how to be near. And the last thematics, it's my favorite. It's all of us, we are indigenous. We are indigenous for the place we born, we grow. Some of us are nomads. Nomads that started where from, for example, from Camiri, there were only 2 land phone lines to go outside. So you need 3 days to send the fax, for example, because it was so difficult to connect out of the local areas. And when you have to walk 3 kilometers to go to the first public phone to get your messages that the owners of the land, the public phone will receive, and you have appointment, and sometimes you miss because you receive the message 2 days before the after. So now we have for us it's a wonderful this digital instruments. For others, it's something that have to learn how to use them. So we go now in the second in the transition. No, we found that we stopped the first presentation, and we go to start to think, no, how in detail how we can speak about these thematics. No. I'd like to start from Giovanni, so we maintain the turn, and you can just go more in deep about the problem you found in this for the temporary residents. Which are the main problems? Because I heard that Marcela said me that Italy is one of the preferred areas for the digital nomads in the world, no? Because it has a law that permits some to stay here. So you are the expert about this thematic. So help us to understand the digital nomads and temporary residents, which problems they can have. Giovanni.
Thank you, Marcela, for these kind words, because as association we have an observatory about digital nomadism in Italy, and at present we still found that Italy has the let me say the geographical point to be a destination for digital nomads, but not the bureaucracy, the legal, all the connections, places. So if you find that Italy is ready, you make me feel better. But maybe you compare it with Amazonia, so it's it's not that difficult to be more connected than Amazonia. Thank you very much. No, you said many things important, and I want to start from the connection. I don't want to be political or something else, but I think that internet connection nowadays is a problem, but is maybe, let me say, is not a problem, I would say, with if speaking about Italy, Romania, or Spain, I mean Europe. I think that with the Starlink, I don't want to be political or make some marketing, but with Starlink, we already solve many of these problems. The problem for me is how to use internet, because as you said, the teachers, but I would say many other places, I think all the let me say generation Z, Y, already use the internet in a way different from their fathers, their parents. So the problem is generational, is not only about let me say work again, teacher or other places. So I think that people that can have these kind of skills, they have they have to find the right way to give back. I'm not good at English, excuse me, but I hope you can understand. We have to make them able to exchange the skills. So only talking, only teaching how to use these tools, we can make them, we can empower them, we can make them more more confident about the tools that we already have. So it's not just a problem of infrastructure, but a problem of connection. And we come to the second thing that you say, that you have a problem, you make a connection also with human connection. So the human connection is more important, in my opinion, again, among not among the human connection is more important than the internet connection, because where human can talk, when they can maybe how to say, they can connect with each other and grow together, they can find a way to use the tools in other ways. And I also connected to what said Olivia before about the important not to bring solutions to the local community, but to bring them the tools and the skills to let them find the solution for what are their problems, and to find a solution to we don't have to bring let me say work or other things to the mountain, but we have to find to bring them a way to let them help each other, let me say. So this is what we study and what we want to achieve. I hope that you can understand what I want to say.
Perfect. It was perfect. And we are starting to connecting between Europe, because we are something completely new, because we have, I don't remember how many, but I think 27 we said, and we have maybe 25 languages. So, or 23. So this is our problem in Europe, to connect each other. So we try to explain what we are thinking in the way we can. So it's perfect like this. And that you, Jess, I'd like this point, because it's so connected with the past. No, today I'm connecting with the past, because I'm in an ancient place in Dolomiti areas where people, it's still well connected. So nomads, there were always people share knowledge. Maybe they don't know each other. Think of the letters that were written between experts of the time, the scientists, the past, the literati. And maybe they meet sometimes with their travel, no, and they maintain with the writing. So we have to go on in this idea. So now I pass to Simona Solvi, that is working on the territories, so that's on the land, on the place. So is Simona.
Yeah, on these topics, we are working on two levels. On one side, connection. Connection is a prerequisite to attract and welcome remote workers. And for example, when the people, when remote workers want to live and work here, they ask for accommodation with a good connection, because otherwise they cannot live and work here. And this is really a prerequisite, and hopefully our area is going to be fully covered with the most up-to-date technology. So this is very important to connect people with this area. Otherwise, it's impossible to present these inland areas as a good option to work and live. And this is the first one. The second level is that we are trying to connect within the local community the younger people with the digital competencies, because we have seen that most of the young people see new technologies, social medias, AI, and so on, as a kind of entertainment medium. But they cannot exploit them, new technologies, as a way to work and also to live in this area. They have the idea that to work, that they will have to leave these places to have university and other experiences, but they cannot connect the 2 points, so that new technologies can also be a way to exploit a new way of working, and so also an opportunity to decide to live here. Keeping this in mind, we last year we organized a festival which was addressed to young people, so from 16 to 30 years old, to present to them how to work on digital competencies and how digital work as digital marketing, e-commerce, AI expert, and so on, can be a real opportunity to specialize on, and also to have a work on this area. We are trying to organize a second edition of this festival for the 2027 6, and so we hope that we are going to continue to work on this topic, because we believe that the attraction of remote workers and digital nomads cannot be the only solution to address the problem of the population, but we also have to work on the prevention of the lack and the abandon from the younger people of this area. So we are working on both both are the two sides of the same medal. I don't know if the same apply in English also.
Thank you very much, Simona. Sorry, because we have a short disconnection here.
Oh, sorry.
When you were speaking tell you about sure connection, but I found the center of I got that my last note was IT as entertainment. So we have to go through this, and I will see the recording after. But this is a central problem about how we can preserve the people from the fear, and from the other side, from the how we can help them to connect with the new technologies. Now, because all about connection. I think it's a word that we must use in this time, in this meeting. But this connection is important because we have to connect online with on life, the technology with the real world, because here we have the most interesting effects when we connect the abstract the abstract ideas with the material objects. Landscape with abstract knowledge, and plants with science. So the problem of science was disconnected with the reality, something that we can touch. So I will pass the floor to Olivio, because I think he has a lot to say about this.
Thank you very much, Fabio. If I may rephrase what you said, this virtual world is still real world. I mean, metaverse is real verse now. Used to be something else, but now it's real verse. I must say, I heard people talking about bad connectivity in rural areas. Maybe Romania is the second or the first or the second country in terms of connectivity, internet connectivity in the world. So we have very, very good connections. What I can tell you is that what's important is that knowledge is very democratic nowadays. Okay, everyone has access to knowledge and to information. That's very, very important, because that's the engine for progress. right? I was reading through the keywords of this webinar, and there's also some questions from Flavia Crețu talking about smart governance. And someone else also said about the high potential in the people in rural areas. So the answer to everything is inside us, inside them, inside each of us, right? Creating connections, doing online or offline brainstormings actually brings progress. There are no general solutions, not for countries, not for regions, not for villages or whatever, because each one has its own specificity. But inside each community, there are solutions, and that's called, by the way, smart governance. Okay, it's another layer of this smart specialization concept, which says that we people know what we want to do and what we can do in the future. And I also liked your idea or story about going 2 hours for a fax or going I don't know how many kilometers just to have a phone call, and this is not the case anymore. So these smaller or scarce communities are already large enough to bring added value and to bring new know-how, right? We are here. I'm maybe 2,000 kilometers far from you, and maybe 1,000 kilometers far from Anna Maria, but we are still together, right? Talking about Europe. Doesn't matter wherever we are. And actually, that's what happens everywhere. I really love this metaverse, and I really love this technical universe, if you want to call it like that, or digital universe, because we go together. We share ideas, we brainstorm together, and we can find general, local, or however you want to call ideas and progress. Thank you.
Thank you, Livio, because I have a lot of questions for you, but I will preserve for the second phase.
Sure.
So, Marcela, please try to connect from your point of view, all these things that are on the floor, on the table.
I'm just want to bring this moment that we lost the connection. That really talk about something that is happening still now, because we are connected, it's true, but you know, me traveling, I have been working from Egypt, from Morocco, from Latin America, from Europe, and sometimes doing my business that is to make a therapy, you cannot lose the connection like we have that it happened now, because it's losing the therapy. So to find a place in some part of the world with the connection, it's the most important thing for a digital nomad, and this is not guarantee, really. It's not it not happens all the time. For me, it had affected me sometimes, like losing a patient. No, it affects really immediately my work, because sometimes I remember in Egypt, sometimes for 3 days I have a connection in the hotel I was, and nobody could give me an explanation. I have lost a week of therapy. So it's true that we are still in the transition time to really be connected, and at the same time the transition moment of being really disconnected from each other. So it's true that you say, Giovanni, it's a generational problem that parents don't have the same information from the kids, no, about how to work in this world, no, and to really, in this transition moment, to really make this how you say breccia, and breccia, this distance, no, this new segmentation that is instilled in the privilege of those that know of AI, know about technologies, and the one that don't know, no? So this is the new privilege system. For me, it's not about rich and poor now. It's about the one who are really in this new world and out in this world. So the generational problem. So I don't know if I'm connecting, but I'm talking about disconnection and connection. And that is my new point here, being as a psychology, no? Yes, of course I didn't answer your question, Fabio, but I just put a point.
No, but it's this, no, the to elaborate the points as from the different point of view. So now we are at the turning point. It's 11, and we go through the second part. So I ask you to interact more between you. So making question directly to the other speaker if you have, and to focus in a specific place and context that is your what you described before, and we try to build how we can make this our place, our situation. No, you are a digital nomads, you move a lot. Simona is working in a specific areas. Marcela, Olivio has more competence, is centered on his work. And so Giovanni has an idea of all Italy and at the point. So how we can help each other to make better work? What we are, how to solve problems that maybe the other have. And if you have a specific problem, please ask to the expert and to the people that's listening, because maybe somebody has an idea how we can solve it. The people that's listening, please, if I have a question, please write in the chat. So I will try to go in this more practical. It's the idea how we can this brainstorming build a very good project about remote working and digital connection, all the things we are speaking about. Because and I start, I have the question, but when it's the turn of Olivia, no, I will make it. So Giovanni, what are the solution and the idea that the Association Italiana Nomadi Digitali is promoting? The main problem and the main solution.
So, from our point of view, we are developing a kind of model that has some important point that then have to be adapted to the different territories. We are talking, of course, about Italy. Me and Simona forgot to say that we work also together with association and start working. Bontremoli, of course, are a project that can that are working and experiment together. So that is at present the best project that we follow, that we know. So we always talk about them and about their project. But I think that so something that they do is very important, like the talk to the children of today to talk to the adults of tomorrow. So they are trying this way. That I agree. We think that in the model that we are trying to develop, we see that there is a connection between all the stakeholders of the territories. So apart from the PA, the public administration, apart from the private entities of the work, and the local communities that has to have the power to decide for herself. So we make, for example, kind of the events of sensibilization and formation to talk about these new possibilities for them, and find places where the two communities, the temporary one and the local one, can meet. This is for us the most important, because what we find when I also work remotely from some places, the first thing is that you are playing with your computer, you're not working. So this is the first cultural problem that you find in territories. I don't know, Olivio maybe has the same problem with his we have to talk. We have to promote this new way to work and to live, and find a way that also the resources that has the public administration can help to build programs that have to be guided by local people, because the public administration starts, and some days they will stop, and maybe the follow administration will erase all the work that the previous administration did. So they have to find the resources also with the private entities, but the project has to be guided by someone that has not political connection, but wants only the best for his territory. And I think that community manager and NGO of the territories has the power to do it. So this is the first pillar of the project, I guess.
Really, really important, as you said, because as environmental anthropologist that work in connection with the local community, it's my principal activity. I found a lot of problems in this, and the keywords are the disconnection of policy and politics. When in the local community, the municipalities, they work more in politics and less policy, because the policy cannot change and so be influenced from the politics. Because if you need water, you need water. You cannot change it with Coca-Cola the day after. No, it's what's happening sometimes. I will ask to Simona, which principal problem they found in the connection between the nomadic community and the local community. Because us as anthropologists, the world needs anthropologists, because we are working on this little difference and we see things. So please, Simona, which are the main problems you found in the connection with the local community?
I will follow what Giovanni just said about the places to enhance and facilitate the meeting between remote worker and the local community, because in our view, we have these people coming with fresh energy, as I previously said, new skills, and they can bring benefit for the local community in a way that the initiative could be a kind of a lab of ideas, collaboration, and innovation. But to do so, we need the proper space to ease this clash, this positive clash between remote worker and local community. In our vision, we would like to have a kind of co-living, co-working, functional space with also a shared community spaces and services, a kind of hub for the social and territorial innovation, let's say. But what we need right now is the right funding to realize this idea. We are also speaking with the local authorities, local government to find a proper accommodation, but also to imagine a place that can be guided and promoted between the private and the public sector, because in our vision, just the private sector cannot be the one leading this kind of project, because these are projects with no immediate return of money, but as a return in terms of impact on the community, but in a broader way. So it cannot be just evaluating kind of money of cash flow. And another perspective that we are trying to follow is the collaboration, or let's say the digital collaboration between remote worker and the local community. In this way, we would like to promote the professional collaboration between these two realities, because many of the local commercial activities could benefit from the skills of remote worker. Let's say digital marketing or e-commerce skills or communication skills could be positive for some local activities. We are still trying to find the correct balance to offer these services, but maybe in a test way. But we are trying to also for the public sector. It's not so easy because the first reaction is that we have all these remote workers that can work also on the local level, but it's not so immediate to have the local community become aware of the richness of these kind of competencies. So we are trying to find a balance between these two aspects.
Okay, it's quite difficult not to balance these two points. We are introducing, we as a Centro Ricerche Antropologiche at Anthropological Research Center, usually we make a mapping of the territory with ethnographic instruments, methodologies. And we are, in the last years, we are introducing the mapping of latent conflicts. But we know that now we have to monitor constantly, because without monitoring, it's like driving a bus with a lot of people with no vision. So all the windows are closed, and unfortunately, some projects have the windows closed with curtains to the driver window. So nobody's seeing where they are going. And after, in the post-evaluation, we said, oh, they go into the wall, the project failed. So we know why they go into the walls, but they crash into the walls, but it's not useful. We have to avoid crashing, because we are not working on security and plain security. So it's really important, all this. And I have my question. So I invite all of you to ask questions to the other experts, because we mix different experts for this reason, because we have a multiple answer. My question to Olivio is I ask him to not be so technical, but to explain us if and how we can localize and make local the answers and the AI now, because it's quite generalized. So because it's generalized, so the answer comes from all the world. How we can answer from a local place where when we plant potatoes from one side of the valley, it's completely different to planting potatoes on the other side of the valley because it's different soil composition, it's different solar influence, it's a different plant cover, a different way to manage it. So it's possible, and how we can do this.
Good. I'll answer Fabio by an antithesis. Okay, the local answer is global. The trade-off is always between localization and generalization, right? Small communities are very conservative. I like what Simona said about some potential conflict between digital nomads and locals. Actually, I can tell you, based on our research, 10% of immigrants in a community bring added value, generally speaking. Okay, so if you have a community and you have immigrants meaning including digital nomads, they bring added value. Less immigrants cannot influence the community, more immigrants can hijack that community, right? So if in a rural community you have 50% digital immigrants, that community will disappear from traditional flow. Good. I'll tell you something. Again, based on our research, so it's real work. We noticed a concept called contagion. Closed communities, based on distance, right, can learn from each other because learning means initially copying the others and then developing by yourself. So if I have a close community somewhere like, say, 10 kilometers, having similarities with me, I can learn from them and I can adapt that, right? They grow sunflower there. I cannot do it. It's just an example, but I can grow potatoes, for instance. There's just an example. And another very interesting thing, which again, it's an antagony between localization and generalization, is based on value chain. We have value chain upstream or downstream, meaning that I have a community close to me, I have a city, I have a village, I have whatever close to me. It's important to develop economic activities, either which sell or buy from that community, close community, right? So for instance, if you grow potatoes, I can start processing them. If you do forestry, I can bring you gasoline, or I can bring transportation for that logs or whatever, right? That's localization. It's not specificity, it's localization, but in a more global context, right? In general terms, at meta level, we do not discover anything. We just make things more specific. That's based, as you said and Giovanni said as well, is based on what we already know, is based on ancestral knowledge, and it's based on what we have. We have wind or we have sun. We have forests or we have rivers. We have lakes or we have nothing. We have good land, bad land. We have one soil or the other. All these bring, intrinsically, they bring opportunities. Each crisis, it's an opportunity. Simona was talking about, no, you're talking about conflicts, and I really love that. I'll tell you something which may surprise you. Conflicts bring added value. By conflicts, I don't mean wars, right? Even wars bring progress, but conflicts bring progress. If there is a conflict between us, conflict means that I just want to be better than you, nothing else, right? I'm not talking about wars. I'm not worried here. That will make me progress. That will make me try to be better than myself or better than you. And in your turn, you'll try to do the same, right? So let's see the good part of the conflicts. Again, if they are not worried, let's see very specific developments in a more global setup, which means contagion, right? I learn from you, you learn from me, or means value chain. I sell to you, you sell to Giovanni, Giovanni sells to Simona, and everyone develops in a global specificity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Olivia, because this is the basis now that we are trying to organize all this activity, all this project. It's really important. Conflicts, yes, I know, because to the Italian, the Latin origin of the word conflicts means change. So we have to manage conflicts, avoiding that the conflicts start war, avoid that start fragmentation of community, and we don't use prevention of conflict because it's not possible, but we can manage them. We can make fast solution. No, so it's exactly what you said. I agree completely with all your words, and I'm really happy we have this common idea now of the exchange. So I go to Marcela because we are the word conflicts and the frictions between communities, but to be inside the communities, because for the moment we are speaking about the frictions between the newcomers and the locals, but there are a lot of friction inside the locals. There are friction between the newcomers. So we are, when we speak about conflicts, we use different way: the conflicts inside the team, the conflict between teams of the project, the conflict between the project and the people, and the conflicts between the people involved in the project. So we have 4 levels, different conflicts to see and to manage. And how we can what do you think about all these things say you listen to now, and what do you suggest we can do? Marcela, sorry.
Thank you for your question, Fabio. Really interesting, because I work also in a global association of coach, not people that make the coaching organization coaching, and we have representatives from all the world, like China, I don't know, Arab countries, Latin American. It's based in London. So, for example, a Mexican late at the meeting. This thing for my companions coach from London, it's terrible thing. It's about cultures. So how can we communicate each other if we have different codes, different cultures, no? If we have different styles of express our emotions, if we have different ways of put our limits, all the time it's about culture. And we, as a digital nomads, we are people, curious people that are traveling all the time. So we understand that there are different kind of cultures. We pollinizamos, we pollinate, no? Different ecosystems of societies. So I don't know it happened to you, but a lot of time people ask me, how is this country, how they live? So I have become the communicator of cultures. You know, here they live like this. It doesn't true that they are like that, no? I am not an Instagrammer person, so I'm not publishing my things in Insta, but I'm a pollinizer, so pollinizadora. In this way, I think that the digital nomads are the new nation. I don't know, no new community, no, that I at myself, I don't believe in frontiers. For me, it's the planet Earth. So I move, no, communicating all different cultures. So conflicts are always about limits, territory, what is mine, what is yours, no? What is good? What is the best way of doing something? And we are breaking all the time these beliefs, because things that are done like that in one place, they don't work in this other place. And we are the one that are saying like, maybe we are different. Maybe there is a diversity. Maybe there's not only one way of doing something. So if I arrive, for example, to work from Nepal, no, so I expect that I really want to know more about this, Kathmandu. I really want to know more about these people. I don't want to be part of the gentrification movement. I don't want to arrive to a place that some hotel tell me, "Welcome, digital nomad." That in a language that is all the same for us. I don't know, but I believe in diversity. I believe of mixing. I believe you have to do the things that they do just for a moment, just for if you're a resident here. Now in Venezia, I have to live like a Venetian. I cannot say, okay, sorry, but in Chile we made like this. No. So to be really flexible, to adapt ourselves, not to instill a modern way of being, like really be mixed. We have to be really resilient in that. So conflicts are in this side for me, and flexibility, resilient, adapting, hearing, not to instill our way of thinking, communicating, and of course the base for this for me, and just returning to the first point, is like, sorry, I don't know. Can you help me? So we move from this paradigm of competition to the paradigm of collaboration, the eco paradigm. That's my way of thinking.
Thank you, Marcela. This round has been really, really interesting. We move between different problems, no, and all are connected from culture. Culture, from my point of view as anthropologist, culture is just a way to represent our reality, to connect the things we feel with our senses that are not anymore 5 but 8 now, and how we interpret this stimuli, and after present the problems and how we can solve the problems. There are problems that cannot be solved in other way because our culture that will solve in one way and the other culture in another way. Be careful, because when I speak about culture, I'm not speaking about only about different countries, but I speak about me and my neighbor, that we grow in the same place, we grow in the same context, but we have different culture because we live different lives. We have different information. He is more a lawyer. I am an anthropologist. I was a technician. So my understanding and my interpretation of the world is different from his interpretation of the world. And the moment that I think mine is better, there start the conflicts. Here, it's there the place. So the example we were speaking these days, we were here. One of the problems when somebody new arrive in a countryside place, it both a house and it close, it make fences, and usually from thousands of years there were a right of pass through the places, right to collect, right to pasture animal in some places, and the property, the private property, arrived after. So we have this first evidence of differences, and there start the conflict because people coming from town, it's used that, okay, this is mine and it's mine. Nobody else will arrive in the mine because the common place is the road, it's the place, the square, it's the park, the public park, but my house, the door of my house, nobody will sit on the door of my house because I don't like to open the door and see somebody there. And this is the big difference, because when we are in the countryside, people sit on the roads, sit on and most of these places are private places. So we have to manage. I put a practical example, and we go through the third. I think we have one round or so, or I will try to do two, but going a bit faster. So, which is your suggestion, practical suggestion? What we have to do to make a better design of these areas where we are thinking of not material areas like the digitalized area. What is your actions suggestion? Giovanni, it's the first.
Let me start for once the last, so I can think about it. No, I mean, I want to add something to what I said before. So we talk about the administration thing. I'm confident. I think that to find the first action for me is to find a place where people can meet. I don't know, Marcela, your experience now in Venice, but I know that Venice also is suffering depopulation due to short-term tourism, for example. So in our studies, for example, in the report of this year, we consider Venice as the same as rural areas because we consider all the territories that suffer of the population. So I don't know. Maybe I can make questions as you asked Fabio to Marcela. Where are you living in Venice, and how do you interact with the locals? As you said, you have to be Venetians now that you are there. And so how do you know that you are acting like a local?
Marcela?
Yes. I have married a Venetian man. I have friends. I am into a lot of associations now. I have a music band. I have a therapist group. So all of this because I have traveled a lot, so it's easy for me to get into the society, to read the codes. So now I'm also in a kayak association that we really are protecting of the East Island, the ecosystem of the lagoon. So yes, we are really really little group of Venetian, but it's an incredible resilient group of people.
So we could say that the first thing to do is to let the people that come from outside to be part of the community.
Of course.
So in Venezia there are plenty of organizations, as you said, but if we think maybe in territories about Lunigiana or something else, maybe the organizations are less, and sometimes I find difficult to find this organization because they don't have the power to maybe have the worldwide communication. So I think that first things I would try to know who is coming to my territories and let him know what he can do in the territories, how he can help, and how he can interact with the locals. So this is my action.
Yes, and the other thing, sorry, just to add, is that a lot of people that come to a country don't ask about how they are doing things here. So to have the conversations, open conversations, where are you from? What are you doing? no, if you are in a territory. Whether you're interested, so just connect with the association, but have the first connection, no, to be open.
So Fabio, this is a perfect assist for your community manager.
Yes, exactly. This is the access because I know the community of the area of Lucca. I get a lot of community, but we speak about this community, and a lot of time people didn't know what the neighbor is doing. Not because they are grown the same place, but if you need an electrician, sometimes they call it from outside because they don't know that 3 houses more there, the friend of their young times now it's a perfect electrician, but he's working in another place. So no, this common knowledge, no, what I have done with you, it's the initial interview. It's about the monitoring. So who you are, what you know, how you, what are your competence, your knowledge, how you can, I connect you with the other people of this community. You know, when you arrive at this round table, each one, it's we know that we put together the piece, and it's hard sometimes to put together piece to people that can collaborate. So mapping the community and do all this, because in Venice there are a lot of organizations. So in a town it's easy. You go kayak, you go to the therapist, you go to the it's a very active organization. We map around more than 130 organizations only in the third sector. But sometimes in the communities, in the small communities and villages on the mountain, there are Misericordia, for example, organization that maybe the idea, the basic value of, they are not recognized from the newcomers. So the role, I theorize that, and I'm sure since years that we need the community weaver. The weaver is a person like the fisherman when he arrive on the night after being in the sea and with the nets taking fish, and you have to connect again knots of the fish, the nets, or connect the knots of the nets, sorry, with the why, because the network, the net, have holes. Sometimes these holes become bigger and bigger. So we need this person that knows how weave again to repair the community. It's a constant work. You know, in Venice, we have had a very good success with an events that since a year couldn't connect with the community. And we suggest, okay, go house by house, go to visit the people, go there and say, okay, the people are representative of the organization, and speak with them. And at the end, we had a lot of people coming, and we had a very good design of the process, because people felt that they can apport. No, they were not. So it's not easy, but it's possible. And I have, from the public, we have no questions. So I am wondering what's happening. But I have a question for Olivio, because how we can build local AI, and how we have to do AI agent that can help us to ask a question about this community, and it will not answer about other communities. Is it possible?
Yes, it's possible, and I'll try to answer at two levels. Okay, one will be conceptual, theoretical, and the other one will be very applied. Okay, if you don't mind. Again, very specifically, I work in the field of AI. By the way, I'm a professor, as I said, and I supervise PhD, so I'm involved through my PhD students in many things. we do develop AIs. By the way, we have a course right now. I'm here, but my colleagues are over there learning about LLMs and the chatbots and the AI. And it's so easy to bring in or to embed local knowledge in these AIs, right? What they do is exactly what I said, a merge, a blend between global knowledge and very specific and local knowledge. What it means? It means that general trends, general concepts, general flows are very specifically instantiated, right? Through the local knowledge, through the local resources, through the local expectations. I like your idea about having a weaver. What I can tell you is that actually communities evolve based on social, physical concepts, right? And when I say physical, I mean really physics, mathematics, right? They go with the flow, and they are very hard to monitor and to control. Not by a person, maybe by a committee that can be done. Why people and communities evolve? Because they find easier or better circumstances or setups, right? That's why we evolve. We must understand that rural and urban regions are complementary. Scarce or highly populated communities are again complementary. We would like to be everywhere, which is not possible, right? That's why we accept drawbacks because of some advantages. That's why we have these digital nomads, because luckily they can live everywhere, physically in one place and virtually or digitally in the other place. And bringing together with AIs, so very, very, very easily with AIs, you can really instantiate locally the global knowledge. That's really possible. And that would be an answer to this evolution. Again, we must understand that communities, society will not be the same. We are living, I don't know why it's not minted like that, but actually from my point of view, we are living a revolution to society 5.0. Not industry, not economy, but society 5.0. It's again a new revolution, and we must accept it. Why we undergo it? Because we love it, right? Honestly, we love to have AI. We love to be here online. So many people from so many corners of the world, but on the other side, we give up many other things that we used to it, right? That's a continuous evolution, and we must accept it.
Okay, really, this is the center now of what we are trying to understand, and to mix this local and society and this society community 5.0. I like this, and I will go in deeper. And what we need to make interact the society 5.0 and AI.
I don't know if you can really split society 5.0 from AI. Look, this revolution, this AI, this society 5.0 couldn't exist without having access to all the knowledge in the world. If we don't have the resources to learn from everything, okay, this was not a local research. This was a very global research. And these LLMs like GPT, like Copilot or whatever, learn from ourselves. And now we learn from them. Actually, we learn from ourselves through them. That's what we do. That's what we do. The question is how far this AI will go. Nobody knows. Let's be honest. Talking about ethical aspects, talking about power or strength or whatever, nobody knows. What's obvious is that from a technical point of view, from rational point of view, from conceptual point of view, AI is really strong, but it lacks feelings, it lacks sentiments. That's why here, because we care about these communities. We care about the future of ourselves and everyone. And actually, that's why we have this discussion, right? But we do it through feelings. We don't do it entirely rational. Everybody speaks with so much pathos. You, Marcela, everyone was talking about that. It was about feelings, not about concepts only. Thank you.
Okay, Olivia, thank you very much, because this is the center, no, and it's a real answer, because we have to build the same relation with AI that we have to build into the community. So it's a part of the community. We have to control this information as a new person arrives and said, okay, the land is flat. Wait a moment. Okay, so we need committees that check the information, because somebody arrived in the community and has his own knowledge that have to be respected but not accepted. No, so we have to be critical. And that's it. Your answer is perfect, because you always bring me back on the humanities, not sciences. You go away from computer science and say, okay, AI is about humans, so we have to interact with AI as we interact with humans. We need to build a network, a local network that will check and verify and weave the knowledge. It's wonderful. Thank you very much about this answer. So now we are going to the end. I'd like to have we have like 12 minutes. So some closing sentences from all the participants. Yes, there are no questions from participants, and so I ask to the speakers. We have 29 people online at this moment, and we had peak of more. But okay, this interactive, maybe we are so fast in the move. So please, a final sentence, a phrase of how we will close this conversation. What do you bring home from this conversation? So really add 2 questions. So we go to Giovanni, sorry. Giovanni, the first one, and Simona, Mattei, and Marcella.
Well, I go home. I mean, I stay home. Concerning that, the problems that we have in Italy are problems that have also in other countries. And I'm very happy that we have the opportunity to exchange, because as we said many times today, to talk to each other, to connect to each other, to contaminate to each other is the main things to do to solve problems that are really important, and we have to do it, let me say, by ourselves, because it doesn't think that politics or other things, administration and all, has the power or has the interest to do it. So we have to connect to each other to find ways. So thank you very much, Fabio, to organize these meetings and this program, this project. I think that this will be very helpful, and I hope that there will be also other meetings or events in the future. Thank you very much.
Okay, I'll follow what Giovanni said. Thank you. Thank you, Fabio, to involve us in this kind of project. And my hope is that we can learn from all the experiences and to promote better models to have a positive cooperation between remote workers and local communities. and all we all said today is very important in reach this objective. And also, as already said Giovanni, the importance to connect also with the local administration and public government to bring attention to these topics.
Good. I'll start by congratulating everyone for this initiative. Is really great, and I think these brainstormings and the think tanks should be done more often. I'll start by saying that the future is different from what it used to be, and completely different actually. Communities always evolve, and there will always be problems to be worked out. That's the way it is. But there are solutions, local solutions, specific solutions, as Fabio mentioned. What's obvious is that metaverse, digitalization, and AI are part of the solution. We cannot disregard them. Thank you.
Thank you, all of you. Thank you, Fabio. As Federico Fagin and Harari Yuval said, that the only thing that hasn't artificial intelligence, AI, as you say, Olivia, also is emotion, also the consciousness, no, the consapevolezza. So for me, what I keep with me now is all the curiosity of all the reflection of the participants, because yes, you present me as an expert, but for me, each one of us is an expert of something, a little piece of reality that insieme, you know, when we are together, we construct, we make it happen. So my question now is about how can we create context that allows all of us get involved, how to involve communities, how to involve the different part of this piece. So what we can learn from this new context in different platforms to really let us appear, belong, be part of this new present and future.
Thank Marcella, because since you were faster than I thought, we have still 6 minutes. So I will make the last fast run about the question of Marcella. Which are the ingredients? In 3 words, 3 ingredients you will put in this big recipe we build together. So same round, Giovanni and Go and Simona, Olivio and Marcella, 3 ingredients for the recipe.
Difficult. I mean, just because 3 words, so someone has something in mind, you can go.
Please, from the public, write in the chat.
I go on with also with the one that I wrote at the beginning. I think that empowering connection and contamination.
Simona.
Yeah, quite the same. Collaboration, innovation, and also I don't know, maybe contamination. It's a good word to for this kind of team.
Bye, Olivio.
Maybe they are the same things, but I will formulate them a little different. global knowledge, local specificity, and AI.
Perfect.
Active, esperanza activa, active hope, pollinizzazione, that the bee, the api make, invece decontamination from its pollinizzazione, and the affascinante not knowing that make the curiosity and the collaboration.
Like
not knowing.
Serendipity.
Yes, but also the love, I don't know, to say, I don't know. Can you help me?
Okay, from the public, you can write if you want. Perfect. Thank you, Camilla. You break this distance.
Also, Sarah was writing before Respect.
Oh, yeah. Thank you very much, Sarah. I haven't seen. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Break this distance that we have interact with us. And for the next key lesson, I will ask to Marcella to give us suggestion to how to involve more the public. So we are at the end. We need, you know, that we have a community, a WhatsApp community. If but I cannot send the link just now because I have not here, but we have a WhatsApp community. Please register somewhere on the website as expert, as a stakeholder, as a student, or just at the newsletter, because it's the only way you can keep in contact with us. The website, if some perfect, thank you very much, Anna Maria. Yes. So this is the WhatsApp community. The website is www.HiCoMA.eu. And we are on Facebook, we are on LinkedIn. Follow us, keep in contact because we are building a community that want to learn and exchange and help to help the internal highland areas to grow. But what we say, it's useful for town too. It's not only for the agro areas, because we choose this to focalize in something that's isolated. It's more far away from the crowd of the town, but it's more or less what we tell. It's really useful for the barrios. I have the Spanish word in my head, but anyway, it's good for town too. So please follow us. This was the third key lesson. In August, we will take some little holidays. We have to work on a lot of other things, and we will start again in September. On the learning platform, you have all the recording, all the past webinar. We have you can find the calendar of the next events, and September will be the month dedicated to climate change. How we can afford this change we have under our feet, eyes, and shoulder, and how all the Highland community manager have to know what will be the future. So we will have a 3 key Tuesday roundtable and the final key lesson. And in October, the last month, we will speak about young engagement. So how we have to, it's central topics, how we have to involve the young people in our processes, and how we can be better inclusive. So these are the two last thematics, and after we will work again, because in the 2026 and the beginning of 2026, we will have the final conference of the project, and will be here in area de Feltre and Sovramonte, and we will organize everything. So prepare to travel here, and who is near, and okay, we are waiting for you, and you will be keep in touch. So thank you very much to all the experts. Thank you very much to all the public, and see you soon. Have a good August. Bye.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Bye, thank you
See
very
you.
much.
Ciao.